Keaton, I'm just curious, how many of your residents in your counties pay all cash for their homes?
You know, that's data I don't have.
So usually if you get a renewal notice that says we're not going to give you your insurance, then the homeowner is forced to look around, because the next letter is going to be from the mortgage company saying, hey, you better get insurance or else, or I don't know what else is. So one method would be just to pay off the mortgage, right? And then you don't worry about the insurance. And you're rich enough to be able to afford the loss. The second is you've got to scramble all over the place. So I'm just curious, Mr. Wade, what is the involvement in homeowners insurance, fire insurance with the mortgage industry? How are they interfacing with the insurance agents industry?
Right, thank you. So I think every mortgage company would require insurance on basic hazard insurance on the property. They're not necessarily going to require a fully comprehensive homeowners insurance product as we know it. They don't need the contents insured. They don't care about additional living expenses and other things, but they want basic hazard insurance that protects their collateral. So what will happen is if a policyholder is not able to provide insurance, to them from the private market, or they let it lapse, the mortgage company will force place or lender place an insurance product onto the collateral, but it will be a very basic policy that will cover, from fire, peril, and a few other things, and won't cover personal property or additional living expenses or other things like that, just to the extent of the value of their collateral. And typically those are provided by non-admitted insurance companies, and they cost more.
Okay, thank you. And Chief, just one quick question. CAL FIRE mentioned that they get cap and trade funding, and I'm just wondering, we saw a lot of fires that were started by electrical lines, power lines, the Butte Fire, but Sonoma and Napa and Santa Rosa. Are we using any cap and trade funding to try to harden some of these electric lines?
Not to my knowledge. We were able to get some cap and trade funding to initially deploy for this fire season, the pre-positioning that I was talking about. That's a one-time funding, nothing ongoing. And then I believe later this week we'll ask for some additional cap and trade funding to buy additional apparatus through the Office of Emergency Services, but nothing for hardening electrical that I'm aware of.
It's my understanding that 2.5 days of wildfires creates as much greenhouse gas as all the cars in this state running for an entire year. So we're losing all the benefit, everything that Sacramento's trying to do at this state by electrifying everything. So we'll have to talk about how we help you by preventing fires, because that's what's happening in my area. And I saw it in Santa Rosa. It was tragic with these transformers just blowing up.
We would agree. There's a lot of work to be done with the electrical utility company, allowing them to shut off power during these climate-driven events and things like that. So we're very interested in those discussions.
Great. Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam Chair.